Welcome back to The Breakdown, everyone. I'm Lyndon Blake here with Ben Bobick. We are in familiar territory. We're in Indian territory down here in Venice, catching up with the region and district champs from 2016. They're looking to make a run again.
You see the smile on my face. It's like a sort of like a class reunion for us. We spent so much time down here in late fall last year because, well, Venice High Indians had a lot of success last year. They won the regional championship for the first time in a number of years. They made it to the state semifinals for the first time under Coach John Peacock, and it showed. I mean, they have a lot of guys coming back from last year's team. I mean, most notably, they lost Speedy LaRoche, Matt LaRoche, to Georgia Southern to graduation. He was a big part of that offense last year. But the main component's coming back, and that's Bryce Carpenter under center. I mean, this kid is unbelievable. He's a great knowledge of the game, and he has great knowledge of this offense they run here. And you see that with his college choice. He's going to Coastal Carolina next season. Runs that spread. He's a dual threat quarterback, and he's the guy this year in Venice.
If we called Matt LaRoche last year Speedy, I would like to call Bryce Carpenter this year Sneaky.
That's a really
he's
good.
He's a playmaker, and you really
yes,
never know what he's going to do. And before you know it, he's kind of snuck past that entire front on defense is in the end zone before you even know it, because he's pretty quick himself too, but he has a lot going on up here, and he works very well with Coach Peacock. You can tell they've been around each other a while, and he really knows the system here at Venice as well as every single player out here. We can't say enough how well oiled this machine is down here.
Oh, no doubt. And then another guy actually is to keep an eye on who they lost to is Aaron Hackett, the tight end to Syracuse. And Bryce Carpenter does a good job of running the football as well as throwing it. The guy's got a cannon. And one of his favorite targets is back this year. I said it all last year, and I'll say it again. It wasn't a Venice High football game unless Javon Hiley was in the end zone. And he returns for the Venice High Indians this year. And actually, ironically, he's going to Coastal Carolina with Bryce next season. But we're talking this year, and I think they're going to have a lot of success on offense. They won't lose a beat. And then the defensive side of the ball, I mean, they're just disciplined. And that's the one thing I think of the Venice High Indians. I can only think of one word to describe them, and it's discipline. It's the most disciplined team on the Suncoast, no doubt. Hands down.
Yeah, hands down. We have Jeremy Trebles coming back on defense as well. He's picking up a lot of D1 offers this offseason and looking to kind of establish his game on the field. He's going to be a big part in that secondary. And another big thing that helped Venice last year that Coach Peacock kept saying, it wasn't that they had tons of playmakers. I mean, they did, but they had a very, very good offensive line.
Oh, absolutely.
That was one of their strong points, and it looks like he's working that line hard again this year. They had quite a bit of size on that team.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're winning the battle up front, if you're winning in the trenches, there's a good chance you're going to win football games. And so they did. They were a really good line this year. We caught up with them doing some drills, and it looks like they're just trying to keep their head on straight. And hopefully, like I said, if you win the battle up front, there's a good chance you win football games. And when you got guys like Bryce Carpenter, and then obviously the new running back who had some time last year. I can't even say he's new because they were winning games by so many points. Everybody was getting some playing time. A guy by the name of Court Dobbs, you'll hear his name a lot this year.
Let's kind of jump into the games that we're kind of looking forward to see in the season. Obviously, Braden River, they played them a little bit earlier in the season, which I don't know if that was the deal in 2015. I know last year they played them towards the end of the season and obviously in the playoff. But it's an earlier slot this year, and also kind of that mid-season slot goes to the IMG Blue team, which you got pretty familiar with.
Yes, absolutely. The IMG Blue team speaks for itself. I mean, that program, that academy speaks for itself. So, but there's a reason why they're on the schedule this year for Venice, and it's because of that game at St. Thomas Aquinas down there in Fort Lauderdale last year. They still has a sour taste in their mouth. They didn't show up to play, and it was the worst game I've seen them play all season. Clearly, it's the only game they lost all season long. So, and they're looking for a tune-up, and that tune-up is going to be IMG, and they're going to bring it to them. It's going to be a tough game. I'd be lying if I said it'd be. The Indians probably aren't going to go undefeated this year because IMG. But if they can compete well with them, then they know they compete well with later down the line. And let's talk about that Braden River game. In 2015, Braden River beat them in the regular season, beat them in the playoffs en route to the state semi-appearance, and a loss to St. Thomas Aquinas. Flipped the script in 2016. It was Venice that won both games. It's kind of like a rubber series here, and we're excited that we get to report on it and watch it live.
And their teams are always so stacked, but this year especially, Braden River has their key players coming back too, with the transfer of Brian Gagg. It's not like they're really lacking in the quarterback position. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I know we're looking really forward to this season. It's always nice to be down here in Venice and catch up with the tribe. And we'll be here all this week. It's the last week of the breakdowns, but don't worry, we'll have tons of information from all our local teams coming up this football season. We'll see you next time.